Hi and welcome back to another episode of Talkin Walks. Today I'm in Baker Street. There's no sign of Sherlock Holmes or Dr. Watson or Jerry Rafferty, so off we go to the first site. So here we are at number 34 Montague Square in Marylebone. This is a very celebrated rock and roll address which was initially bought by Ringo Starr in 1965. When Ringo moved out, he let it to Paul McCartney, who made a demo of Eleanor Rigby here. Ringo then let it out in 1967 to Jimi Hendrix and his manager Chas Chandler, who was the former bassist in the Animals and eventually Slade's manager. Then in 1968, two new tenants moved in, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, following his split with his wife Cynthia. They were photographed here in the nude for their Two Virgins album cover. There was a police raid here in 1968 which resulted in John Lennon's conviction for cannabis possession. This led to Ringo being eventually pressurised to sell the lease, and there was no further musical connection here until 2010, when Yoko Ono returned to unveil this blue plaque. So here we are at the Water Rats, 328 Gray's Inn Road, not far from King's Cross. This venue has a really prestigious history, including Bob Dylan's first UK gig in 1962, Pogue's first gig in 1982, and Oasis' first London gig in 1994. This, along with a roll call of other household names throughout the years, from Katy Perry to the Cortinas to Ra Ra Riot. In 1986, the premises were bought by the granddaughter of Water Rats, a showbiz charity organisation whose membership included legends such as Laurel and Hardy, Charlie Chaplin, Norman Wisdom, and the current King Rat, Rick Wakeman, the great keyboard player from the band Yes. So now we're at our most northerly point so far in our London music sites. We're in Upper Street, Islington, and this is a screen on the Green Cinema, formerly known as the Empress Picture Theatre, where the Clash debuted in August 1976, supported by the Sex Pistols and the Buzzcocks. So opposite me now is the Hope and Anchor in Islington. This is an iconic North London live music venue from the 70s to the present day. The Clash, The Cure, The Jam, The Police, Dire Straits, The Specials, The Stranglers, The Damned, Dr. Feelgood, X-Ray Specs, Eurythmics, Elvis Costello and Madness are just a few of the bands that have played live here. U2 and Joy Division both had their debut London shows here, and in the case of U2 it was to a crowd of just 8 people. This venue gained such a high reputation that the Front Row Festival in 1977, which featured XTC, Shakin' Stevens and Tom Robinson, was recorded and released as a live double album by Warner Brothers, reaching number 28 in the UK album charts. The Stranglers, Elvis Costello and the Saints also recorded live albums here, and Madness shot their music video to One Step Beyond in the place. The legendary independent label Stiff Records was also founded here, and this century has seen the likes of the Libertines and Enter Shikari. So here we are in Camden to complete our North London music sites. So this is the Jazz Cafe at the Parkway. It was originally located in Stoke Newington but moved to Camden in 1990, and it's enjoyed a very wide variety of live music genres ever since, from jazz and blues, funk and soul music to reggae, Latin, hip hop and electronica. Artists that have performed here include Jamiroquai, Ben King, Amy Winehouse, Don Cherry, Evelyn Champagne King and the Fatback Band. Here at the junction of Albert Street and Parkway is the Spread Eagle Public House. This was an iconic 90s Britpop venue and popular with members of Blur, Oasis and many others. Blur's Graham Coxon returned here for a surprise performance in 2019. Legend has it that the gig was so loud it caused several of the pub's light fittings to fall off. Further on up the parkway is the Dublin Castle. This pub featured early performances from Blur, Coldplay, the Arctic Monkeys, Supergrass and Madness. The Madness vocalists Suggs and Amy Winehouse were even known to have served pints at the bar here on various occasions. So here at the junction of Inverness Street and Arlington Road is a good mixer pub. This was another early 90s haunt of bands such as Blur, Oasis and Pulp. This was also the pub where Liam Gallagher reinforced his hell-raising reputation so regularly that he ended up being barred by the pub landlord. This is the Camden Roundhouse on Chalk Farm Road. This boasts, amongst many others, Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, Blondie, Otis Redding, Motorhead, The Clash, Black Sabbath and Elton John to have played here. The Yardbirds, Jeff Beck, the Ramones, plus Fleetwood Mac, The Who, David Bowie and of course the Rolling Stones are also amongst the past performers that have played this venue. The Roundhouse has the larger capacity main space, the smaller studio theatre, as well as a community hub, cafe and bar. Now this is a site of the Electric Ballroom, 184 Camden High Street. It was originally an Irish music venue with acts like Jim Reeves playing here, but it's been at the heart of Camden's thriving music scene for 80 years. A long list of performers here includes Phil Lynott, the Boomtown Rats, U2, the Stereophonics, Muse, Blur, Joy Division and the Killers. The Clash, Madness, The Smiths, Snow Patrol, Richard Ashcroft, So Paul McCartney and the Kaiser Chiefs have graced the main stage here, to name but a few. This is Dingwalls, another iconic Camden venue where Blondie made their UK debut. Other bands on the diverse roster of artists that have played here include Coldplay, Etta James, the Foo Fighters, R.E.M., the Strokes, the Clash and the Sex Pistols. The Ramones, James Bay, Noel Gallagher, Imagine Dragons, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the White Stripes, the Stereophonics, George Ezra and Ellie Goulding have also played here, as have the Darkness and Beth Hart. In 2011, Venison, a pseudonym of the Strokes for the purposes of a secret comeback show, played here too, as did the Kaiser Chiefs. So this is the actual steps where the Clash album cover was shot, and you can see Camden have made the most of it. So here we are at number 30, Camden Square. A poignant address, being the home of Amy Winehouse, where she died much too soon from a huge overdose of alcohol, namely vodka, on the 23rd of July in 2011. So now we're at our final location of the Camden Talkin Walks Music Special, and this is number 83 and 83A Albert Street. This address was once the home of Oasis Noel Gallagher, and it was where he wrote the classic Wonderwall.